It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Brouwerij Noordt in the Netherlands and Beerwulf. And this is a bottle of their Lager Lab number 3. It's a triple lager. Coming in at 8.1% ABV, 330 milliliter bottle. There's the Noordt logo there on the label. Without further ado, let's get the beer out into a glass and see what we get. Nice bit of smoke on the bottle opening, beer in the glass. A lighter coloured ale, this one. So what I'm expecting from this one really is maybe Belgian Tripel. Belgian Tripel combined with like a hybrid lager triple style beer. We did the double, the Brouwerij Noordt double, which was really good. And they're really interesting beers because they've picked classic ale styles and they've turned them into lager hybrid beers, which it's a real head bender. We just reviewed the Scotch ale and it was black and roasty and toasty, and it had all sorts of mixed dried fruits in it and blueberry, but it reminded me of a Baltic porter, which is a lager style beer. And again, this is, well, a Belgian triple. You think of the great Belgian triples, Westmalle triples, and some of the other ones. Well, what they've done, they've looked at these beers, they've drunk these beers, and they've gone to themselves, let's try and do this, but make it a lager. So, slow moving carbonation, one finger white head, a little bit of haze in there. Amber coloured ale, let's get the aroma. Yeah, absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers, because you're picking up Belgian triple. But at the same time, you're picking up the dryness and the crispness of a lager. Absolute kind of head bending stuff going on here in my mind, because I'm so, one part of my brain is saying, oh yeah, it's a lager, and then the other part of my brain is saying, no, it's a Belgian triple. It's really estery and yeasty and fruity, dried, like Belgian candied fruits coming through. But then the crispness of a lager. Let's dive into this one, let's try it. Cheers, everybody. Quite sweet. I've not looked at the ingredients, but I can imagine straight away on that first taste they might have put a bit of priming sugar in this, a little bit of that Belgian candied sugar as an extra. You can certainly taste it. It finishes dry and it has like a funky kind of bitterness on the back end. But it's nicely carbonated. It's nicely carbonated, and you get that. I really need to dig deep with this one. It's that classic Belgian triple finish where it's dry, peppery, spicy, but then it has that kind of Belgian candied fruits, almost like mixed fruit jam. Mixed plum and strawberry and raspberry jam flavours coming through. As you rock the beer back and forth, you can see that carbonation look chasing the head of the glass. It's looking like a really, really good quality kind of brew, this one. But it's the sweetness balanced off with that dryness, that pepperiness, that spiciness, that bitterness on the back end that's really doing it for me. It's that, it really is a really nicely balanced beer. Sweetness over here. They've definitely, I'm going to 95% guarantee that they've added sugar to this beer without even reading the ingredients. I could just taste it. Taste that Belgian candied sugar over here, that dry, bitter finish over here. It's just lovely and balanced. There's no way that you would be thinking that I'm drinking an 8.1% ABV beer here. There's no way whatsoever you'd be thinking that. It's drinking more like a 5% ABV beer. And that's the beauty of these beers. These beautiful Belgian beers is, it's a Dutch beer, but it's a Belgian style. And I hear all sorts of stories all the time about people going to Belgian cafes and just looking up at the board or having a book given to you, and you go through the book and you go, oh, I'll have that one. Chimay Blue, or West Mile Tripel or something like that, and they come in a lovely bowl glass, and you drink the beer, and you're thinking to yourself, "God, that's going down really well," and you're not realising that it's like 8, 9, in some cases 10%. If you're drinking quads, they're 12% ABV, and they're just not drinking like that. So I've known people to have had 2 or 3 of these beers, and they turn out to be absolutely like getting up out of their chair to use the toilet, and they're falling down flat on their face. And that's the quality of the beer. That's the beer that they're able to brew this beer that's so drinkable, so refreshing. But yeah, it's quite strong to drink. This one being 8.1%, it's drinking like a 5% beer. It really is. So a lovely balance. I think it's slightly sweet. I think if they could choose to brew this again, I think if they could choose to do this again, I think they would scale back on the sweetness. I think they would probably cut back a little bit on that Belgian candied sugar. I've spoken enough about that. Let's have a look on the side of the bottle. Let's see if they have actually added sugar to the beer. Yeah, there we go. So, water, barley malt, wheat malt, rye malt, oats, coriander, orange peel, sugar, hops and yeast. You definitely get that sugar, the hops and yeast. I tell you what I have missed. I've missed the coriander and the orange peel. I'm only human. Let's see if we can get it in the taste. Yeah, it's blindingly obvious. Blindingly obvious. I was talking about these kind of mixed fruits earlier on. Mixed fruit jams, mixed fruits. I was talking about spiciness and pepperiness. That all comes down to like coriander and orange peel, if you like. I like to go into my beer reviews blind. I don't like to read the side of bottles because I'm just reading and I'm just telling you guys that there's coriander in there and orange peel. I like to give my own interpretation of the beer and then reading the side of the bottle and going, actually, yeah, it's that. I think it just brings more of a human kind of nature, human feel to my beer reviews. But I like it. I like it as a triple. I think it could be slightly less sweet if they were to make another, or maybe tweak the batch a little bit, bring that sweetness down a little bit. But other than that, it's a pretty decent beer. It's an 8 out of 10. It's an 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers!